How on earth do you defend yourself from an accusation of being racist or something? Depends entirely on the context behind the accusation. Nah, and walk away. Maybe something like, I take that seriously. I would never want to do anything racist. Would you mind explaining what I did to give you that impression? Quote, as with all things, your mileage may vary. Ask them for details and do some self-reflection. If you're still convinced they're acting in bad faith, disengage and say I'm sorry you feel that way. Ask why. Why do you say that? Quote, we all have some racist ideas that are so deeply ingrained we aren't aware they're inaccurate or offensive. I'd want to become aware if I were unintentionally offensive, invalidating or dismissive of someone due to my own ignorance. This is assuming the person telling me is someone I know personally and a relationship worth continuing and building. If it's some random on the internet, I might be uninterested in their opinion, especially if it's off-topic rage bait. Depends on the context. A lot of people immediately get defensive when accused of racism, which is understandable, but I think people also need to understand that that action was racist is not the same as you are a racist. You could have said something racist, but it's about intent. Ask them to explain. However, if someone is calling you racist in bad faith, unlike the typical Reddit replies telling you to in response actually be racist back, which would then just make the accusation hold weight, I'd just go, okay, and disengage, because as soon as someone uses that in bad faith, it's not worth arguing with them. Well, it depends on what happened or what you did or said, because if you truly did say something racist, then you can deny it all you want, but no one will believe you. But you could have said or done something that seems racist to the other person, and you could simply ask why they think you're racist. Because maybe you're doing something unintentionally. If someone is just calling you that to call you that, then there's also no way to defend yourself, because the other person is being an ass or a troll. If it isn't true, then tell them to FO. If we allow people to take control of our lives without any burden of proof, it will lead to a huge swarm of tyrants making life miserable for everybody. Ask them to explain. Maybe you are doing something you are not aware of and you can learn from it. I believe it was Dave Chappelle that said, calling someone a racist is the weakest form of insult, because the accuser can't prove it and the accused can't deny it. To be honest, if a minority where you live accuses you of being racist, the best response is to listen and be introspective, even if they are being petty, and saying it in bad faith, and using it as an insult. The best thing you can do is to sit down and think about how you might have come across that way. There is not really a way to argue your way out of it. If you want that other person to not think you're a racist and to respect you, the only solution is to think about what you might have done to have them feel that way and to repent that behavior. Of course, you could also not care what they think about you. I don't. If people want to accuse me, then the burden of proof is on them. I know where I stand, and if people want to challenge that, then they better be damn ready to explain why they think I am a racist. If they accuse me of being something I am not, they better be ready for some uncomfortable questions about why they feel that they are entitled to pass judgment on others. Ignore them and walk away. Nothing else you can do. Either you are a racist, in which case you can't defend yourself, or you're not a racist, but there is still no way of defending yourself. Lol. How come the most annoying people always accuse everyone they annoy of being racist? Loudly. Whatever you know to be true is what dictates the tone of your response. And if it's a specific issue, address it no matter what. But if you're accused of being a racist, and you're not a racist, Then your rebuttal is easy and confident. Beyond that, you can't control the opinions of others. They are often negative and often wrong, so try not to give it much thought. Perfect opportunity to say, fuck 'em. Quote. Talk in a different language and walk away. Nothing you say to convince them you aren't a racist. They will understand or believe anyway. You've gotten some good advice here, but it would help to know what would lead to someone calling you racist and who is the person telling you. A trusted friend reacting to something I said or did would get a much more thoughtful response than some random person on the street yelling at me just for walking by. You basically can't just disengage with the person. We've reached a stupid point where it's an unfalsifiable claim. Generally, when someone makes a claim of racism, it's proof that they don't actually have an argument. I don't bother. Whenever someone calls me a racist, which has not once happened in person but has happened online, I ignore it. I don't care what strangers on the internet think of me. Even if it was in person, I'd have to actually care about that person's opinion to bother arguing about it. I do like using the "I've been called worse by better people" line though. I started to say something about it depends on the person making the accusation. But only someone who doesn't know you at all, assuming you are, in fact, not a racist, wink, would make such an accusation. So screw 'em. Shrug it off and walk away. You cannot prove a negative.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.